I've partnered up with the F1 store for 2022, the best place to buy Formula 1 merchandise. Currently, they have an incredible end-of-year sale on with plenty of 2021 lines available at up to 40% off, with official merch available from every Formula 1 team. If you're interested, click the link at the top of the description or in the pinned comment down below to help support the channel.
And here in Russia, today's race is about to start. We're at the Sochi Autodrome and the drivers on the grid are almost ready to begin. Join us as we enjoy today's Formula 2 event. Let's examine the Sochi Autodrome then. 2 DRS zones around this 3.6 mile circuit, one on the long run towards turn 2 and another leading into turn 13. 18 corners in total and plenty of opportunities for the drivers to push their cars to the limit. With so much time spent at full throttle, engine failures are a risk that teams must be prepared for. With me at Sochi for the Russian event is Davide Valsecchi. This is a long and complex circuit. Davide, what are your thoughts heading into it?
Hi Alex. Yeah, you're right. This is still a very exciting circuit. Lots of winding turns and high-speed straights. The racing here should be extremely close from start to finish. I think we'll see a great race today, and I can't wait to get underway.
As we're now moments away from the off, let's take a look at the grid order in which they'll start today's race. Robert Schwartzman lines up on pole position, and it's Oscar Piastri in P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Joe, Aitken, Marcus Armstrong, and Viscal. Pourchaire, Ticktum, Sato, Liam Lawson, Beckman, Vips, Felipe Dragovic, and Vachor, Lundgaard, Samaya, Deruvala, and Bent Viscal, Nissani, Zendelli, Boschon, and Alessio Deleda rounds off the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
Right, well here we are then on the grid, ready for the final F2 race of the weekend here from Sochi. Really looking forward to this one. 14 laps ahead of us though. Of course, if you missed out yesterday's video with sprint race number 2, I'm going to hold my hands up and admit it was not my finest race on F1 at 2021, but definitely still worth going back and checking out. Of course, championship permutations at the moment, we are still 5 points ahead of Enzo Fittipaldi. 13 points ahead of Liam Lawson there, and we're starting P1. Lawson's down in 10th, Fittipaldi's down in 18th. And yeah, we're starting alongside our teammate on the grid for this one today. So fingers crossed we can try and, take home the dub and build up a big championship lead at the moment there. Prema, though, now somehow we've kind of launched ourselves back into championship contention as well. 23 points behind High Tech in the team standings. But yeah, let's dive in then here. Final race of the weekend here from Sochi, and fingers crossed we can get a nice clean start and a good run in towards turn 1. Mixed up tyre strategies, 5 red lights, and it's going to be lights out and away we go. No, we've short shifted up into P2 there, and Jack Aitken from the second row on the grid is immediately going to jump up into P2 there. We have some contact with Marcus Armstrong, who just runs into the back of me in towards turn 1. How on earth that can be my fault, I'll never quite know. But look at that from Jack Aitken, 4th to 1st through the first couple of corners there. Schwartzman kind of jumps out of the way of myself there, but Jack Aitken with a beautiful start on the softer compounded tyres there. No idea how some of the AI are allowed to change their strategy over, yet we're not ever seeming to be able to. But Jack Aitken surely early on in this race is going to romp away at the start there, but we didn't lose any positions in the end. Jack Aitken gained a lot. We gained one on Schwartzman there, and we might be about to lose that again as we run horribly wide on the exit of the next couple of corners. Is Schwartzman going to have a look back up the inside? Yes, he is. I do not want contact with my teammate there, but we get the power down. There's Jack Aitken, yeah, just romping away at the front of the field there. 1.5 seconds clear already. Jack Aitken, he's just gone, I think it's almost the old meme of Harry Potter leaving the station, just waving goodbye to everyone else there. And look at that, he's just pulling away and there's nothing we can do early on here. Harder tyres though, we have got to be careful of that. As you can see, they're 3 wide further back down the order there. I think that's one of the Dams cars trying to have a look past someone. Is Schwartzman, he's just completely gone into the back of me there. Is that immediately going to be our teammate Robert Schwartzman's race over? We certainly didn't brake too early in towards that corner there. Or certainly I didn't think we had, and that might now be Schwartzman into the pits at the end of lap 1. He could have probably got a set of medium tyres to the end, but Schwartzman, what on earth is our teammate doing there? And has that just meant Prema could be back out of Teams Championship contention as well? Yeah, hate to see it from our teammate.
Robert in the pits.
And yeah, nothing, like I said, I think that we could have done there. Jack Aitken, 3 seconds clear at the end of the first lap there. It's like watching Sebastian Vettel back in 2013. But yeah, we need to keep our head down and focus. There's a long race ahead of us. And yeah, now we've got free choice of pit stop, I suppose. Got to look at the positives once more there. But poor old Schwartzman has had such a rough year. And this weekend, it finally looked like he could hook it up all together. And it's all gone down in the feature race. Oh, here comes Marcus Armstrong as we head back down in towards turn 1. One of the only other runners, I think, that started on that set of the soft compound tyres there. And look at how much grip he's got over me at the moment. Jack Aitken isn't romping away as much now, but he's certainly still got a big advantage at the moment. And when these guys pit, will completely define when I can afford to box in this Grand Prix to try and take the strategy the other way. But I mean, we're 2 seconds clear of anyone else on our strategy there, as that is not the line through turn 5 once more. Luckily this time around he's not going to get the same run as our teammate Schwartzman did on us, but I think, yeah, Armstrong is probably going to fly past me down the back straightaway, and I don't really think there's going to be much we can do about it. To be honest, I'm not really sure there's much we should do about it at the moment. We're playing our own races, and I don't want to get embroiled in a battle with him if we've got a chance of fighting with Jack Aitken towards the end of this race. Are we going to see Armstrong now get the run on me as we head down the back straightaway here? He's got to get a nice good run. We are going to go defensive. No, look at that. Armstrong just kind of sits back. So not too sure what's going on there. Luckily he doesn't run to the back of me again like our teammate did. But yeah, not too sure what Armstrong's game plan is here. But he's not costing me much, so I'm not going to worry. This is already turning into such a weird race early on in Sochi. I'm already thinking those super soft tyres have not got the same pace advantage that they did just a couple of laps ago there. But we're still pulling away from Bent Viscal there and Guan Yu Zhou, of course, 2 of our rivals in this race on the same strategy. But yeah, Jack Aitken, the gap's pretty much holding level now at just under 5 seconds. So when are they going to pit? I would have thought it's either going to be sort of end of lap 5, end of lap 6 there, and then of course we might be able to box in just a couple of laps after that and go the other way. But yeah, very, very weird early on. Not the most dramatic race in the world, but we're all pushing hard there as Armstrong, yeah, now he's just not applying the pressure at all. Whoa! Armstrong suddenly out of nowhere dives it up the inside in towards the end of the back straight there, and I was not expecting that one from the... I'm not too sure which team he drives for now. It's completely gone from my brain. But yeah, Marcus Armstrong there. What a lunge from him. Fair play, but not going to make it work this time round. Is he in a dams? Is he in a dams? I can't remember if he's in a dams or not. I think he's in a dams, but... yeah, I don't know why I'm just suddenly losing my brain when it comes to team names this weekend.
You'll be on the super softs.
Yeah, we're going to be coming in, though, very, very soon for our pit stop. I mean, these guys are already doing 6 laps on these supers, so we might only need to do 7 or 8 on the other tyres there. As look at that, Armstrong now to the inside once more as we head back down in towards turn 1. He's not going to brake particularly late, though, and I mean, if you're not going to have it, mate, you could have easily squeezed us out there, but he hasn't. And again, this is just all playing into Jack Aitken's hands once more. Keep it clean and tidy through turn 3. They're taking a bit too much curb, but yeah, Jack Aitken now 6 seconds up the road. There we go, Jack Aitken finally into the pits then, so he's going to have close to a 7-second advantage over me. But is it worth just boxing at the end of this next lap and then having that tyre advantage on him for half a race here? We'll have to wait and see sort of how... I mean, we know how well these tyres will hang on in there. But yeah, is it worth boxing now onto that set of super softs? Means we probably won't get held up trying to get around other cars as well there, as it would be very, very close between myself and Teo Porcher. We'll see if we can keep building a gap this lap. Because those guys, yeah, aren't going to come out in dirty air either, looking at the mini-map. It's all still to play for at the moment, but strategy is very much coming into this. We can't have those super softs die late on in the race. Well, we are absolutely leaning on this rubber at the moment, pushing to get everything we can out of it. So again, it only has to go. I think, yeah, it's not worth pitting this lap. We may as well box at the end of the next one. But yeah, just opening up that gap to Porcher by a few more tenths. So if we do get caught up in the pit lane, it should be still out ahead of him. Confirming to the team, then we're going to box at the end of this lap. As we head through the final sector of lap 8 here. 6 laps to go of this race. And that, I think there, goes to show just how much we're trying to get every last little bit of grip out of these tyres. They're chucking them all over the place as we head down in towards the pit lane here in Sochi. But the gap to Jack Aitken certainly going to be a tall order to try and close up by the end of this as we get it slowed down nice and tidy into the box. But yeah, let's just wait and see what we can do then in the second half of this race. Like I said, this is why we needed to build up the gap. The first car into the stall. Get those tyres on nice and quickly, team. Come on, we need a good, clean stop. And 5.7. Oh! We've been allowed to rejoin into tail Portier there. That was certainly not a Peggy 3 kind of move there from Codemasters. But we are going to be back out onto the track there. There's Jack Aitken. So there he goes out of the pit lane. Where are we going to be in comparison to Marcus Armstrong? Are we going to be ahead still of Armstrong here? Has he not been able to turn on those medium tyres? No, he has not. So we are going to rejoin ahead of Marcus Armstrong there, and I honestly thought he'd undercut us in this race. And now we've got 6 seconds still, so the gaps basically remain level to try and close up to Jack Aitken here in the final 6 laps of running. Let's get this, as finally now, turn 3 is pretty much flat out for the first time all weekend since quali. Right, round in the final couple of corners then of lap 9. I think we're going to have to do lap by lap updates here in the dying stages. Final few cars into the pit lane. And the gap to Jack Aitken, we're not actually going to know what the gap is to Jack Aitken. It's going to be about 5.4, I want to say. There is now back up there. We got 5.3 seconds between myself and Aitken, and Schwartzman in again.
Is coming in for his stop.
Poor old Robert Schwartzman. I would have even just tried to stretch the super softs to the end here, but yeah, we need the gap to be under 4 by the end of this one, I think, if we want any chance at this. Well, I said the gap needed to be under 4 by the end of this one if we still want any shot of this, and it is going to be just ticking under 4 as soon as I say that. 3.9 seconds as we set up 45.7.
Fastest lap of the race.
Fingers crossed that'll be fastest lap in the bag for us as well. But 4 laps to go. 4 seconds to Jack Aitken. Come on, we can do this. 3 laps to go then, Jack Aitken. The gap now down to 2.7 as we head in towards the final couple of corners. This probably still will come down to the final lap then of this race, but we are pushing hard at the moment. 3 to go. Who is going to come out on top here between myself and Jack Aitken? Can we get our second race win of the weekend? Or can Jack Aitken take his second race win of, I think, the year? Did win back at Monza, I want to say. I think if we want any chance of winning this, we need to be within DRS range in this part of the track next lap round. Just over 2 to go then here from Russia. And what an interesting, odd weekend it has been here at the Sochi Autodrome. It's had everything. Shock pole positions for the homeboy. Heartbreak for us at the end of qualifying, of course, as well. They're losing it out in the final corner of the lap. They're a brilliant opening race of the weekend. They're heartbreak for Liam Lawson that time, of course, after we jumped him heading into the final 2 corners of the race. Still no idea where I found all that grip and pace in towards the final couple of laps there. But still, the gap now to Jack Aitken. 1.8 seconds here with just 2 laps to go. We need to dig deep. Armstrong still valiantly trying to defend from Bent Viscal and Guan Yu Zhou here. But yeah, we need to focus on the car in front rather than what's going on behind us. We need another win this weekend, and we need it now. Right, are we going to be within that DRS range? Oh, I think that little bit of wheel spin is going to cost us. We're not quite going to get the DRS this time around on Jack Aitken, but we are still finding time at the moment. Just a lap and a half to go then. Here from the F2 race weekend from Sochi. Somehow, despite all the heartbreak in yesterday's sprint race, we've still scored the most points of anyone this weekend. We still lead the Drivers' World Championship after Fittipaldi has completely dropped the ball over the last couple of races. Liam Lawson is now probably, going to be our biggest championship threat in towards the final couple of race weekends. But we had a brilliant battle with Jack Aitken, if I remember correctly. No, it was Drogovic we had a brilliant battle with, sorry, last weekend out at Monza in towards the final laps. Now, though, we are definitely going to be within range of Jack Aitken as we start the final lap then here from the Russian GP feature race. Can we take home a feature race dub once more here on F1 2021? We're going to gain massively on the run down towards turn 1 there, but we're certainly not going to be close enough this time round to go for anything on Jack Aitken, so we're just going to need to try and stick right with him through the dirty air there. You can see immediately how much that lack of grip costs us through the first few turns of the lap, but as we head through turn 3 once more, understeering catastrophically this time round. Tyres are starting to bleed as well on the final lap here as we get all over the curbs, kick the back end out. As we try to put the power down here, we just got to keep it clean through sector 2. We might be able to get a run on Jack Aitken there again though. Just struggling a bit with understeer at the moment. Are those medium tyres starting to come back into their own here late on in the race? We get a beautiful hookup though as we head through the right. Can't quite get the nose in through the left there. Oh, big wobble on the exit once more there. But we are going to be within DRS range of Jack Aitken. Of course, he's going to have no DRS to defend himself with as we head down the back straight for the final time this weekend from the Sochi Autodrome. Are we going to be able to get a run on Jack Aitken? Is he going to go defensive on me? No, he's not. We're going to have a look to the inside. Oh, but Jack Aitken's having none of it. Completely turns in on me there. Big controversial contact between myself and Jack Aitken there. Can we do the up and under though? In towards the final few corners. He's going to try and defend with all his worth. Can we do the switchback? Just like we did to Liam Lawson in sprint race number 1 there. We can't put the power down this time round on Jack Aitken, and in towards the final couple of corners. He defended so aggressively, but Jack Aitken comes through and he's going to win the feature.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Ferme.
A nearly flawless performance here then, and a commanding victory. Tell me, Davide, what was the key to this success?
I think this race was won thanks to the tire management. You have to remember, it's not just about going as fast as you can. It's about consistency. It's about maintaining your speed over an entire race distance. So being able to keep the lap time competitive while still respecting the tires, that's where they won today.
And now it's time to wind down and celebrate after that fantastic race. Here they come, your top 3 out onto the podium. After this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the driver's table. On to the teams then. The lead at the top comes down after a strong weekend from the challenging pack. After all this drama, you'd be mad not to join us for the next race. We hope to see you then. Take care.
Well, there we are then, the end of another race weekend in Russia. It has been a pleasure once more there. Jack Aitken, controversially, at the end there, I must admit, does take home the dub, willing to have absolutely none of it on that final lap there, and really he only put himself in that position from his fantastic start there. 4th to 1st before we even got in towards the second braking zone of the lap there. And yeah, Jack Aitken takes home the dub. 25 points for him. I'm sure very happy with that one there. We come through for P2. Armstrong did hang on for P3 in the end there ahead of Bent Viscal and Guan Yu Zhou there. Ticked on more points on the board ahead of Pourchaire, and Lawson does take home another 4 points there. Sato in 9th, Guilherme Samaya in at P10 there, and yet another pointless weekend for Enzo Fittipaldi there, down in 21st place, only beating out my teammate Robert Schwartzman, who of course had to stop. But that means final race results from this weekend there. Jack Aitken scored the most points, 39 points ahead of myself on 37 there. Armstrong with 23 ahead of Pourchaire on 20, and then Lawson and Vips on 17 apiece for High Tech there. Schwartzman, not a great weekend, but still 8th. At the end of that one means championship-wise, we're now clear by 25 points suddenly ahead of Enzo Fittipaldi there, who's still somehow hanging on ahead of Liam Lawson there. Larim Zendelli, 72 points back. It is, yeah, now really definitely a 3-horse race here, unless one of these drivers can have a miracle run. Zendelli, though, 1 point ahead of Pourchaire, who's a further 4 ahead of David Beckman there, so that battle for P4 is still definitely heating up at the moment there. Vips jumps Lundgaard once more. Schwartzman still in P16 ahead of Daruvula and Guilherme Samaya. And teams-wise, we're just 7 now back from High Tech, so it really does depend on whether our teammate Schwartzman can pull his finger out in the final few races of the year there. But Racelab Dum Campos with that dub as well. They're just 5 points behind Trident. But yeah, 2 race weekends to go. 25 points between myself and Fittipaldi. Thank you all so much for watching this video. And yeah, we'll be back very, very soon, ready for Saudi Arabia. You guys do not want to miss that. None of these videos would be possible without the help of our channel members. So a massive thank you to all of the names you see on your screens currently for helping support the channel. You can join them by clicking the join button down below. And yeah, thank you once again to everyone that continues all the insane support on my work.